Uncle Bobby has called for the end of the crypto cycle, baby dolls. I've got a juicy cracker episode for you coming today, and we've already started preparing in case 2026 rolls over and everything's poop, right? If you can, friends, open up your own OnlyFans. You can sell pictures of your toes. Sell one toe at a time. That's what I say. Belly buttons. There's earlobes. There's plenty of things you can do to get creative out here just in case 2026 is a nightmare year. So Uncle Bobby is obviously his video. It's gone viral in cryptocurrency. I could tell already straight away because Uncle Bobby's been with us the whole way. This is his video. I mean, it's called The Peak. He believes that the crypto top is in. Not just believes, he goes, it's definitely in. He's almost saying it's definitely in. And you got to remember how most of these people speak. When people say, oh, 80% chance it's in, that pretty much means 100%, okay? And I just want to show you where he's coming from. Let's look at the technical stuff he looks at, and then we'll then go and check out our stuff, which people might say is cope and hope and everything out here. But I just want you to know, friends, as well. So emphatically, we can just tell. Okay, we can tell everyone out here there is no denial whatsoever. I don't see anybody in denial. Everyone has already accepted. They go, well, it's been garbage for 4 years. If it's going to get trash again next year and the year after and the year after that, whatever, let it. Okay, I think we're all perfectly prepared, right? Because the thing is, right, there's nothing to take away. Like, you never even got more than 15 seconds of hope, right? That's pretty much all you got in the past, like, multiple years as well. So there's nothing really to take away from most people. I think the people who would be the most scared, kind of like Bitcoin maxis, but in their minds, they're not really scared. They're actually in a denial as well, which you can definitely see from the Bitcoin dominance. Because in Bitcoin maxis, they think, oh, it doesn't matter if Bitcoin goes down, because in their mind, Bitcoin dominance is going up and altcoins are going to go to zero. So they think it's win-win for them. And I think even Uncle Bobby and everybody's going to be caught. I think they're going to be caught hard. Okay, and Bitcoin dominance has been flopping down. Okay, so this is Uncle Bobby's video. I just want to show you where he's coming from. So why does he say that it's over? Okay, obviously he talks about 4-year cycles all the time. Uncle Bobby trades off cycles, and he looks at Bitcoin, 3 years up, 1 year down type of thing. But I want to show you this as well. Okay, so Uncle Bobby uses, see this orange line? It's a 10-period monthly moving average. Okay, so it's a monthly chart and it's a 10-period moving average. It's kind of a good way just to check out momentum. Now, this 10-period moving average on the monthly, it is equal to the 50-week WMA, weighted moving average, or just moving average. Okay, so when you see the 50-period moving average, okay, it's 50-week moving average. Okay, it's about the 1 year average price. That's another way to look at it. This 10 period on the monthly, it's the same line. It's roughly the same line. Not exactly the same, but it's pretty much the same, okay? So when you're below it, and so these lines, like I said, like I just mentioned, friends, these lines, they give you an idea about momentum in the short term, but, you know, when you're using a monthly period as well, it does have a bit of weight. Now, I want to just give you some context. So Uncle Bobby, funny enough, when I came into crypto end of 2018, Uncle Bobby started making videos, I think at the very, very bottom, Q1 of 2019. It was actually the bottom, just to show you. And I'll bring it out for you right here. Here we go. So it was actually right here, friends. See, this is where this circle is, where we came around the 200-week moving average. He made his videos here. And I remember back then, the prevailing belief, I mean, even Uncle Bobby thought Bitcoin was going to hit 180,000. Okay? And instead, what actually happened, if we come out, this is a monthly chart as well, what actually happened is it stalls at 69, comes back to 35, and then he gets out at like 40. Okay, he says, "Yeah, it's over. It's cooked." Because pretty much you can see why consistently why he did that, right? Because Bitcoin here at 46, this is a monthly period. This is a 10-period moving average as well, right? I've just got the same thing. So it closed at 46,000, and then the next month, I think, friends, actually he sold around 40 here. He was like, yeah, it's over and it's cooked. He pretty much just got out, okay? And then the month after, 38, and then it comes back February. There's like some tiny little relief. Nothing's happening here. March was like this tiny little relief just from the stock market bouncing from this. What actually happened here, friends, was Russia-Ukraine war. It started happening. But I want to let you know as well, back here, the US Fed major loser Powell said, we're going to be hiking rates next year. So then Bitcoin obviously dumps down earlier. And then by the time they actually start hiking rates, it's pretty much all over. It's kind of funny, actually. They started hiking rates in May. So, but when they started hiking rates, it's already capitulation. Just to show you as well. So by the time they actually start the hikes, you know, here we have in May, we capitulate down. And the next month, I mean, like, look at it. It's kind of funny, right? I mean, look at this. If you bought Bitcoin here, you're buying at 32. Okay, but if you buy, you know, I think this is a massive capitulation. But think about this, like 32 is pretty good today. It comes back to that price. But if you just waited a bit and the hikes to come out, and then look what ends up happening, just wait 1 month, you can buy, obviously you're not going to buy exactly 20. Maybe you buy like 22. 22 ends up being a good price. So this is kind of like telling you, maybe, you know how we're just sure that when the US Fed started the rate hike part, we had like 1 month left, and then it was like, most of the moves are done. Maybe now that, you know, Donald Trump, he's now hinted that I think this guy named Kevin Hassett, whose name literally has asset in it, is going to replace Major Loser Powell. As soon as that's playing out, we might find, we don't know if I'm just guessing, we might find that most of the stocks, crypto, a lot of the good stuff has already happened. And when they finally do, maybe like a yield curve control or something, that we've already front run it. But we'll see when it comes to that. Okay, so I'm just giving you the context of Uncle Bobby coming out here. So if you come to where we are now, here's the 10-period moving average. It came close a few times. Check this out, friends. This is Japan, Yen, Pokemon Island explosions. All these scamming and dumping. Look at this. He never was able to close a month under it. Okay, the candle closes. Never able to close it. All of them were wicks under it. And it continued and continued. Here was Donald Trump with the tariff tantrum. Down here, Uncle Bobby sold a third here. And then you have as well, here we go, we actually the jugular. All right, out here. That's why a lot of people believe that, okay, the 4 cycle is definitely done now because Bitcoin seems to be rolling over. And that's why we have Uncle Bobby with his video here. He pretty much goes through, I mean, like the video is called The Peak and send everybody into hysteria. He shows that even here, friends, even where we are now, he believes that this is just going to be a relief rally. So, look, I want to tell you something as well, just so you know, friends. I watch all these people. They don't watch anybody else. So I want to, this is something you got to learn about markets, okay? There are independent thinkers. Yes. But what we've seen in the past, not just my guessing, what we have seen in the past, including on Trump tariff tantrum, is a lot of these independent thinkers, yeah, if you line them up and you watch all of them, they all independently come to the same conclusions. And then they end up being the crowd. So that's why with markets, it's a moving target. Okay, that's why there's no one formula. You can never get one formula. It's kind of like if you're a football player, you can't always just run down the left side of the field. Okay, if you're kicking penalties, you can't always go to the right of the goalkeeper. You can't just always do that. Okay, same playing golf, playing basketball, it doesn't matter. Like things change. Weather changes, the competitor changes, the meta changes, a lot of things change, okay? And it's the same thing in markets. So what you'll find is they can get trapped on the same side too. They do stack up, you know? And how I know this, friends, I would have early ideas. Like I just want to show you, right? I remember, friends, remember left translated cycle? We thought it was all going to be left translated and we started running early. But then actually what happened is then everybody believed in left translated cycle. Everybody believed from 2024, oh my gosh, we're actually going to have a left translated cycle and we're going to peak at the end of 2024. It didn't actually happen, okay? Because everybody had that belief. I'll show you again, once again, what ends up happening right here, friends. So we were running up, remember Bitcoin running up, and we stopped literally here for 9 months, man. Remember, friends, during this period, I made 1,000 videos, literally 1,000 videos. So I was very early to the left translated cycles. Funny enough, I actually was earlier than Uncle Bobby. I had front run Uncle Bobby. I was thinking about a left translated cycle in 2022 as a possibility because I just want to tell you back to my thinking. Okay. I was thinking, okay, well, there's been 3 cycles now. People are going to try front run 2025. That's just how markets go. And I was right. They did. Everyone did come in. But it's kind of funny. Look, friends, this is what ends up happening, right? If we go back here, it was starting to go to a left translated. And what ends up happening? The retailers go, oh, left translated. And then it stopped. It stopped. That's why I remember reporting it to you during the time. I go, well, you can have all these ideas, but if all the weak hands jump in straight away, it prices itself in. Okay? So where does that bring us to where we are today? Well, if we look at where we are today and Uncle Bobby believing that this thing might just be a relief rally, I'll even show you as we move on along here. You can actually see it on the top right-hand side. Okay, Uncle Bobby thinks that, so this is where the chart is right here. Uncle Bobby thinks, okay, we're going to perhaps see just a relief rally max. And he's even, this is the interesting part, he is even ready to exit if Bitcoin's at like 110. Literally, if it hits as high as 110. Very interesting. Look, you got to think about this as well, friends. If you, like, that's such a high number, man. That's a very high number. What I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to show you. Let's come down here. Let's look at the Bitcoin. Let's look at the weekly chart, actually. Because what I want to do for you and me, I want to see where is the retracement of 50%, which is what happened in 2022. Bitcoin went to the exact 50% zone, barely touched it, and then capitulated down into 2022. That number is exactly 100,000. So I drew a Fibonacci from the top to the exact bottom. The exact number is 100,000. Assuming this level holds, it doesn't know. Maybe we do go down and hit 80, 75, 70K. I don't know. But that number is exactly 100. So, man, it's going to be scary, man. It's literally the exact number, 100,000. Man, it's going to be hairy because if it touches 100 and then next is bad, you know everyone's going to say, oh, they let you back out at 100. What I found even interesting, friends, is Uncle Bobby. He is even willing to see that. If I show you now, Uncle Bobby himself, he's like, yeah, even if they try to scam you at like 110 or 115, that's still really high, man. Wow. That's totally disbelief. Yeah. And why is that disbelief? It's basically, he says, oh, even if you do a super strong move, I think it's over. It's crazy. That's wild, man. That's wild. I'm still thinking about it. It's like, that is totally, they've all made up their mind. It's a bear market, 4-year cycles holding. It's all going to collapse. It's man, it's going to come down to the wire. And I'll just show you another chart as well of Uncle Bobby up here. You can see, friends, up here. Uncle Bobby showing, like, he believes that there's a dead cat bounce, goes to 70, dead cat, and then you ultimately come back down here. But, friends, this is the wildest thing. Uncle Bobby, in his video, he says, like, oh, everyone's too bullish. Everyone hates the other side. I'm like, what? Friends, I literally made a video. 31 crypto KOLs are bearish, bro. 31. All right, you've seen my video here, friends. Like, I have it right here. Many videos, friends. I made so many videos. They all sold. There's literally 31 crypto KOLs, friends. Shorting, all this stuff, man. There's heaps. They're all rage selling as well. They're all rage selling. Like, man, crypto retailers are certain of a bear market. Jeez, man. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Have you gone and looked at anybody else? Literally, the biggest KOLs are bearish as hell. Everyone's saying it's cooked and it's over. That's why I see. At the start, friends, I thought I'm just a Retardio. I go, no, I'm not a Retardio. I'm here 18 hours a day, dude. I'm here. I'm working for you, the people. I'm serving you, the people. At literally 18 hours a day. You will get some PUBG music because you deserve it. Now, man, I'm here. So you got to think about it from my perspective. I'm coming in, okay, and I'm like, man, maybe I'm just really silly. Maybe they're speaking Chinese and I'm speaking like Japanese, okay, two totally different languages. I thought that, but then actually what I've noticed is I started getting personal anecdotes. I'm just like, hey, I should track this stuff, because if you're really terrible, you just got to do the opposite of yourself, right, and start winning in markets. And then I noticed, wait a minute, the crowd's a moving target. That's why, friends, I was surprised too. I go, wait a minute, all these people are independent thinkers and they don't watch anybody else. And then coincidentally, by the mystical cosmic juice out there, they all will triangulate to the similar same view. It's wild. And that's why, friends, I would think, man, I've got to look at this more because, isn't that wild how they will all, by their own merit, using their own different Elliott waves and moving averages, they all come to the same conclusion. And then it all gets stacked. Not all the time, but there are certain periods it's like all stacked, okay? I want you to think about something, friends. When people talk about next year, is it going to be bear? Is it going to be bear? Who's saying buy the dip? Who's saying buy the dip? No one's saying buy the dip. Yeah. Well, just a few of the permeable, a few. No one's saying buy the dip, bro. They're too scared to say buy the dip. Actually, what the crypto KOLs are saying, they're debating whether it's definitely hitting 55 or 45 or 65 or 75. They're like, oh, we're definitely cooked. We're going to hit down there. Right? So Uncle Bobby calling for the top. He's literally saying the top is in. He's disabled comments as well. And you know, he did say it was time to exit MicroStrategy, and then MicroStrategy dropped 43% as well. So he's not like, you know, Uncle Bobby's not like rusty or anything, okay? But he does make fun of roll power. He's calling everyone who's long a coper. He says, you know, you're just coping, you're greedy. But friends, you got to imagine, like, I'm just going to tell it to you straight, friends. Uncle Bobby sold. I just want to show you something, okay? Look, none of us are perfect. Uncle Bobby, friends, believed Donald Trump was going to send America into a world recession. He sold the third here, okay? Now, I'm not saying, you know what I mean? Like, obviously what Uncle Bobby does, over time, he gets it right. But I'm just showing you, like, biases can creep in, friends. They can, you know. Friends, blockchain backer was calling for $10 XRP for 3 years. He sold at $3, and now he's calling for 30 cents. But then I've shown you, like, even blockchain backer, he says, like, he's got home renovations and stuff he's wanted to do around the house for a long, long, long time. Can that creep in? Can that be like, yep, it's time for me to go. I'm done. I'm just going to do these home renos. I've promised my wife and my kids I'm going to do it. I've been waiting for 2-3 years. I think we're done. Does that add into their, basically, you know, their willingness to just let go? Okay, does that add to that? But then they might say, hey, but you know, you guys are in. You guys suck because your bags haven't gone up, but Bitcoin went up plenty. You know, therefore it's all over. So that's what they would say. But I want to just show you something as well, friends. So there is context here. There is an AI race between China and America. They have to compete. They are competing. Even, friends, even the David Big Nutsacks said that, you know, we've got to win the AI race war. And guess what? The US manufacturing has to crank up. It has to. Who's going to make the chips? If you don't do them, China's going to do them. So that's why, obviously, if you heard me use the word manufacturing, we'll now have a look at that business cycle, friends. And my friend, even Mr. Colin, talks crypto. So, friends, this thing has been very, very, very dampened for a long time. And you know what, friends? It's been dampened for 36 months. Sure, it could be dampened for another 10. It's already in black swan territory. I'm just... Friends, it's really coming down to the wire. I just want to let everyone know, we've never seen this scenario where global liquidity went up and the business cycle did not go up. We've never seen a crypto cycle like that, okay? Whenever they printed money, the cycle of businesses, the manufacturing, would kick up within 12 to 18 months. Every single time. 3 out of 3 times, okay? In 3 out of 3 times, there's 10, 12, and 6 months. Manufacturing would eventually kick up. We are now on month 36. Okay? Main Street's too poor. What we know from these charts and the correlations, as I've shown you, Bitcoin correlates to global M2, and then altcoins are more business cycle, manufacturing stuff. Now, if I can see, you're probably wondering, why doesn't someone like Uncle Bobby ever acknowledge this? Well, friend, this is why you got to make a decision. Okay? Oh, look, I'm holding, friends. I've already accepted next year could be the worst year of our lives times 10. It could all be over. It's just in my mind, crypto's at 3 trillion and traded at like 2.6. To me, it should be 10, firstly. Number 2, stablecoin super cycle. They are literally printing stablecoins and putting into all these network and payment rails, okay? Obviously, Bitcoin Maxi's friends, like Uncle Bobby's a Bitcoin Maxi, okay? He's a Bitcoin Maxi. He does not value any altcoins. He thinks they're all trash. They're all absolute garbage filth. But also, then you look at it, Uncle Bobby's friends, Uncle Bobby's got $1 million plus of like artwork NFTs. You know what I mean? He's like, it's look, man, it's just, it's hard to get all the answers and get to just one final conclusion, which is going to leave everyone happy. There isn't, okay? There's always risks with these. Look, I'm happy to fall on my sword again. I am betting that next year, this manufacturing is going to be kicking up, okay? That's all I'm doing. And you know, if it doesn't, screw it. All right, 2027, 2028. I don't care. I'm holding. I don't see any euphoria in terms of, I don't see Coinbase App Store ranking. I did not see it hit high levels. I didn't even see the government Bitcoin Strategic Reserve put in. I haven't seen them ban stocks from Congress. I haven't seen a $1 billion public ICO raise. Haven't seen that. I haven't seen them give us a crypto index. They're still releasing the Dogecoin and Chainlink ETF. They're releasing the ETFs and stuff out here. There's things I just haven't seen. Oh, we haven't even seen Kraken, Ripple do the IPOs yet. Haven't seen that. Man, there's just a lot of things. I'm like, man, I just feel like the stories are just incomplete. On top of that, friends, you don't even need, those are crypto-specific things. You don't even need that, man. In my mind, dude, I want to see what happens when the manufacturing kicks up. Now, I got to stress something too. There's a couple of baby dolls in my Telegram. One of you said, Sommi, why don't we just wait for the PMI to go up above 52 and then get in? Habib. Okay, just for everyone, I've explained this multiple times. Let me explain it for you as well. The PMI is backwards looking by 30 to 60 days. Okay? 30 to 60 days. So, when the PMI is at 52, when it actually prints there, Ethereum would have started moving up like 60 days before that. Okay? The thing's already up. And you run a big risk because altcoins are so low down the, like Chainlink's $13, for example. Hex, Pulse Chain, PDI, every coin is really, 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 really low. If you get out now and you wait for PMI 52, even if you get it on the first confirmation, they could be up just a 2x from here. That's like best case for you if you're waiting on the sidelines. You know, if you have to buy something up 2x higher, do you know what that means? You have 50% less coins already. That means you have cut your whole bull market return by 50%. Yeah? So if you have a $10,000 portfolio now and you were going to get like a 20x to the end, that's a 200 grand, just because you got out here, you got to buy back 2x higher, you're no longer going to have your 200 grand. You only have 100. You've sliced yourself. Just tell you, so that's the risk you take by exiting, especially down here, okay? So the PMI, friends, it is backwards looking. But when the PMI is up, it's a nice confirmed trend, especially when it comes to Main Street and the real economy. Now, something else you got to understand as well. The racist Russell 2000, friends. So I have a chart here. There's a gentleman on Twitter got it. This is really, really good, man. Friends, check this out. The top chart is the racist Russell 2000 and the bottom chart is Ethereum. Do you see how they move up and down together now? Why? Well, remember, racist Russell 2000, it's like on the speculative end of indexes for America. 2,000 companies in there, 1,000 don't even make any money. So it's US small cap shitcoins. It's further down the risk curve. So pretty much you need more green traffic lights. You need Main Street to feel confident enough that they're willing to take bets, and Wall Street guys, they're willing to take bets on companies that are not profitable now, because if they turn profitable, the upside is huge. Okay? They tend to only buy these when they're feeling rich in the main economy. And guess what? Ethereum moves with it as well. So putting all that together, I mean, it's funny. Racist Russell 2000 has come back and shot back to the all-time high. It's literally ticking at it, which is absolutely wild. Okay, friends, look at this. This is absolutely bonkers. Look at this. The Racist Russell 2000 somehow defying belief. I can't even believe it. It's literally above the 2021 all-time high again. Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps. It's like so you have Uncle Bobby here saying it's over, it's over, it's over, and then I'm seeing China and America AI fight. I'm seeing Racist Russell 2000 is back towards the all-time highs. I'm seeing Donald Trump delivers on his promise. He's going to get major loser power replaced and the new guy's a dove. I'm seeing QT ending in literally 4 or 5 days. And I'm thinking, man, everything's telling me that they're going to pump it and it's going to be inflationary next year. Everything's telling me. But look, it doesn't have to happen because bad news could come and things could just break the low, etc. But like, this is the thing, Rance. I'm looking at this outlook and for me, I'm happy to fall on my sword. I feel like I should be taking the bet that I have to override the system of like, oh, we're below a 10-period moving average, and the super trend is red. The super trend is red for Bitcoin. Look, of course, friends, this has been a real test. It's been a real ball breaker. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this Bitcoin dominance, man, friends, this Bitcoin dominance continues to tick down, which I'm going to show you now. Right here. This is the Bitcoin dominance, friends. Bitcoin dominance is rolling down, okay? It's also under its 10-period moving average. So like, this is why I say Bitcoin dominant. That's why, friends, if anybody's in, I believe, denial, it's Bitcoin maxis. They're in denial. They are looking at Bitcoin dominance go down while Bitcoin's weak, and their brains are refusing to accept the price action. Because in their mind, this whole industry is Bitcoin only and everything else is worth zero. And I'm thinking, hey, Habib, if everything's worth zero, why is Bitcoin losing dominance while you're calling for the bear market? What's your answer? They have no answer. They're in denial. There is no answer, you know. It's funny. I'm seeing some people spin answers. They go, oh, it's going to the stable coins. No, it's not. Some of it is, not all of it. You know how we know? Others BTC, Habib. Others BTC, friends, you remove even Others BTC when you remove all the stable coins. Remember, Others is outside of the top 10. So Tether and USDC are removed anyway. Let me show it to you here. Friends, look, this thing is literally, it flipped green this month. It's so close to just like confirming next month's going to be green. This is Others BTC. When this goes up, this is altcoins outside of the top 10. Super risky stuff outperforming Bitcoin. So I've presented everything here for you. You still got to make the decision, friends. Personally, I'm overriding it. Yeah. And you know what? I keep thinking back to my poll that I did in January of 2024. Do you remember it? I made it here on the YouTubes and Twitter Roonies. I said, hey, what type of cycle do you think we get? Left translated, 4-year cycle, or extended cycle? I remember the results like yesterday. 45% said left translated, 45% said 4-year cycle, and 10% said we're running through 2026. It's going to be extended. Only 10% back in January 2024. And I remember making a video. I go, guys, I don't see how this can happen right now, but just based off the fact that none of us know what the hell's going on, I wonder if we actually do get an extended cycle. Here we are. We're right at that point. Okay, so yeah, I remember these polls. I made the poll. I remember looking at the results. I'm like, damn, no one thinks we're going extended. We know what that means. Here we are. That means they're not prepared for that. And as you can see right now. So I presented all this information here for you, friends. Look, no matter what happens, no crying in casino. It could get horrible next year, but man, I'm just looking at everything. I'm like, dude, if manufacturing's about to crank up, you know what that means? That means Main Street people have money. And you know what they do with their money? They don't buy Bitcoin, dude. They come for some dirty, dirty altcoins. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you in the next one.